Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, February the 14th, 2025. It is Valentine's Day. Don't forget that. Listen, this intro is going to be a little bit longer than normal, and I would really like you to listen to it. I have another micro-scalp to show you that once again was pointed out by one of our members. But I need to say this first, and please listen closely. These videos showing all these great trades are obviously totally useless if you have no interest in micro-scalping. Pretty obviously, right? Or you do have interest, but you don't take any action to trade them and get good at them. And listen, no judgment here at all. You do you, and figure out what suits you best, assuming obviously that trading's in the cards for you. And if it's longer term trading, no sweat. But be aware that I'm making these videos for a very specific type of trader, i.e. micro-scalpers. And if that's not you and you need something longer term, that's what Darko has been successfully doing for well over 7 years. And what he teaches our members. Excuse me, I'll just shut that off. But the process that we use for digging up trading opportunities is the same. Trading patterns at key levels of support resistance on higher time frames. So the questions, you got to ask yourself a few things that, kind of look in the mirror. What in your trading have you tried to fix so many times that you're about ready to give up? Okay, there's probably, if you're struggling with trading, there's something there. Just ask yourself that. What have you tried to do to fix up in your trading, but just hasn't happened? Or is there something about trading that you think is impossible? Okay, if you have those kind of thoughts. And here's something, I want to just throw this one by because it's a really common thing. Have you been engaging in some kind of self-sabotaging activity with your trading? And that you're kind of embarrassed about, that you haven't told anybody. Kind of a secret. Maybe you lack discipline with trade management and account management. You're way over leveraging. Maybe you you've blown a couple of your accounts due to a total disregard for the trading rules that you promised yourself that you were going to stick to. Right? That can happen. That's a very common problem. You're not the only one. These are the nasty little issues that you need to come to grips with. So look. You are where you are right now. There's nothing everything else is history. So don't despair. In fact, how about some feedback from you and some of the issues that you're having to deal with? Put them in the comments below this video. I'm trying to help you to see that by following some objective trading rules, whether it's micro-scalping or longer term trading, that profitable trading is definitely possible, okay? Okay. Let's leave it at that. Here again is another setup, and the main thing to know is, the main takeaway from this is that the rules were followed to the T, and those rules give us an edge, not a certainty, but a very, very high probability with a high reward risk. Okay, take a look. Okay, so here's the trade, and I just say it again. Look, there's a recipe here, a set of rules to follow. I've got them all spelled out for our members, and it's pretty objective, I tell you. So here's what to know here. Let me just take some of these lines off here. I don't want to clutter things up here, but I just want to show you. I've shown this many times in these YouTube videos. This level of support resistance. If you put a line chart on, as price came up, this is a heck of a level right here, right? And rejected, and then it hit it. It went right through it here. So this level, because it used to be resistance, tends to become support. Go back to a candlestick chart, and you can see actually price came down and touched that line. We go down to an hourly chart, you can see it's kind of more apparent. Put the line chart on here, zoom it out a little bit. Do you think that's a good level, this one? It's fantastic. There. I don't know if it hit it here or not with a wick. Probably did here. Definitely hit it here. So when it breaks through like this and becomes support, and you can see it's trending up here, we go, well, you know what? Is there a pattern? Is the setup what we're looking for? All right, and you can see it now when I put the candlesticks back on. It was just a great level. Touched it a lot. So when it touched this level here on the hourly chart, it was the first time it came back and touched it. We had quite a bullish candle, and it pulled back and then went up. So when it pulled back to the line, was there a setup? Well, and again, this was pointed out by one of our members, which is very cool. And so if you look at this happened during the Asian session. I get people asking, well, do these work during the Asian session or just, whenever? And I said, no, there's 3 active sessions: Asia, London, and New York. London being the most active, then New York, then Asia. This is an Aussie and a Japanese yen, two Asian currencies, so it's kind of nice to trade them during the Asian session. It's not as liquid as the others, but it's if there's a setup, it's a setup. That's all I can say about it. So price came down and touched this line and bounced up. When it did this, you'll notice that price went down and up and down and broke below all of this and closed below it and touched this line and then rallied up and closed above this high. This is what we call a swing break rotation, and at the same time you might notice that, let me bring my line share, my trend line here, price was going down like this, but what was it doing on the MACD? See, this is where the only place we would use MACD is on a divergence like that. It's going the opposite way, so it's losing momentum on the way down. Now, you don't need to use MACD or any indicators. Darko doesn't use a thing, and that's fine. We still had a swing break rotation, which is a structure damage kind of setup. And what we do with micro-scalping, okay, and please, I want you to make that distinction. This is micro-scalping, is we want to buy a deep retracement. I like to buy 79% with my stop below here, and we also take into account volatility of the currency pair that we're trading. I went over this in last week's video. Go back and listen to it. In fact, if you did miss that video, I put a link to it at the end of this video. So you just watch this to the end to get that link. You can click on the end screen of this video. So anyway, price comes back down 79%. This needed a 15 pip risk. When I take into account, it's got to be underneath here, right? This is what we call our natural stop. And it's also got to take into account the volatility of this pair, because each pair has got its own volatility. Some are way more volatile than others. Didn't even come close to the stop, and it rallied up, and it hit the 127% extension from low to high, and the 162% from low to high. What was interesting about this level is if I go back to now we're getting into trade management. By the way, before I leave this, I want to ask you something. Just be honest here. You get filled right here at 70. This blue line is 79%. That's where we buy. Price goes against you, against you, against you, down even lower low. What are you thinking to yourself? This doesn't work. This is stupid. What am I doing this for? Like, those kind of thoughts can creep into your head. Then it rallies a bit, gives you a glimmer of hope. Oh, then it does this, and you got this big red candle here. This is exactly when a lot of people just jump out of the trade. I got to tell you something here. There was zero reason to get out of the trade. There was no red flag news. There was nothing. Now you're trying to second guess what's going to happen. You might get stopped out. That's okay. You're going to get stopped out sometimes. Don't try to second guess it. There's nothing wrong with the trade. Leave it alone. You've got your stop in place, right? Then it starts to do this, because if you jumped out here, how would you feel about this, right? Yeah, that's kind of I guess you call it the puke factor. But anyway, it goes up, hits this level here. I want to show you something about that level. If you go to a 1 hour chart, when you get into a trade, what have I got here? 1 hour chart, and right here. Okay, you get into the trade. So the price comes down, you get filled here, and it goes up. Keep an eye on opposing levels. I've said this over and over and over again. Let's just put another line up here, right here. Interesting, isn't it? See that? I want to show you this on a 5-minute chart on the entry time frame. It actually slightly missed that level. This is the level I'm talking about right here. But it's also very, very close to the 162% external retracement. Take a profit. You don't have to get the last little bit. This is a great place to take a profit. There's other places too. I mean, this from the entry up to here was about a 2.5 to 1 reward risk trade. So it's very, very good. You don't have to get every last little pip. You don't have to get greedy with it. Okay. So listen. Here's what I want you to do. Contact me. Tell me your situation, what stage you're at with your trading, and maybe I'll tell you if this kind of trading is suitable for you or not. And if it's not suitable for you, I definitely will tell you that. I don't want you trading something that is not working for you. That doesn't help anybody. Okay, and I'll give you some alternatives. Fair enough? Okay, really good. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. So again, micro-scalping is definitely a more active, hands-on kind of trading, but with very, very specific rules of engagement. So, if you'd like something like this, great. I hope that you're getting lots out of these videos. And if this isn't your cup of tea, no sweat. It's just not for everybody, for sure. leave a comment below. Let me know what could help you more effectively, and we'd be happy to have a look at that. So thank you so much, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great weekend, and we will catch up next week. Alrighty? All the best. Take care.